Wilder and representatives formally notified us last night that they have accepted the rematch and are going forward.
Those are the words of Arum. And in case it was a little bit muffled, you didn't hear it right, or thought you didn't hear it right. Arum says that Wilder and his representatives have contacted us and have officially enacted the rematch clause, the rematch which is the third fight, the rematch of the second fight, the trilogy. The trilogy has been officially activated by Deontay Wilder and his representatives. So, the trilogy is on. Now, many people have expressed their lack of desire for the third fight based on the fact that Deontay Wilder was so thoroughly and comprehensively beat down, battered and bruised, bleeding from the ear, bleeding from the mouth. It was a bloody sight. So there were hopes that Deontay Wilder would take step-aside money. It's been made known that step-aside money was available for Deontay Wilder, coming from the Fury side, the Top Rank side, the Frank Warren side. They wanted Deontay Wilder to step aside so Tyson Fury would be free to pursue the undisputed fight with his fellow Brit, Anthony Oluwafemi Olansi Joshua. But unfortunately, that will not be happening. There's not a tremendous amount of desire for the third fight, not whatsoever, not at all. So this clearly is driven by Deontay Wilder's desire to get back what has been his for the last 5 years. Deontay Wilder bitterly disappointed at his performance, bitterly disappointed at his costume, bitterly disappointed at Mark Breland, bitterly disappointed with the referee. Deontay Wilder is simply bitterly disappointed, but I think the real disappointment is that he's lost his, what does he call it, Lucille? What does he call that belt? Lucille, something like that. He's bitterly disappointed that he's lost that, along with the fact that he won't be able to get what he's been aiming for, which has been 50-0. To rival the likes of Marciano, but now he's taking a loss. That's all gone. That's out the window. That's finito. That's adios. Can't do that. But he still wants to get his belt back and clearly has a burning desire to do so. Wants to get his belt back from this guy, Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. What are his chances? Well, his chances are seen. He went into the second fight as a favorite. The first fight, was that pretty close? But I still think that Deontay Wilder was a favorite for the first fight. He was a favorite for the second fight. But I don't think he's going to be the favorite for the third fight. It's going to be the first time, perhaps in his professional career, where he has not been the favorite going into a fight. And perhaps he relishes the opportunity to be the underdog for the first time in forever. Okay. The demand for the fight, I don't think it's that great. I don't think that's high. This fight, the second fight, has not yet got to the break-even point. Currently at around 800,000, 850,000. More optimistic views. Bob Arum is saying that when the full tally is done, he would be surprised if it doesn't make the 1 million pay-per-view mark. And there's been some arguments, some talk that what about the pay-per-views in Europe? What about the pay-per-views in Australia and New Zealand? What about the pay-per-view in Finland, Scandinavia? Well, the 1 million mark I think comes from the USA market. When they talk about pay-per-views, they're talking about the USA market. Other markets have more sensible pricing, much far cheaper than the USA market. So when they talk about making 1 million, it's not a question of adding up all the territories around the world. It's simply looking at the USA market. That's the market that gets terribly overpriced. $80 pay-per-views. That's a hell of a lot of money, more than anywhere else in the world. Yeah, I don't think the demand, they're struggling to break even now. They haven't break even. They may never break even on this fight. Bob Arum is understandably optimistic, but he's like 200,000 pay-per-views short of the mill. And as we know, the break-even point, Bob Arum said it himself, is 1.1 million pay-per-views. 1.1, 1.2. Currently, they're like, 300,000 shy of that figure. Will he make it up? We don't know. It's yet to be seen, but it ain't there yet. And it's certainly nowhere near the 2 million mark, 2 million pay-per-view mark that Bob Arum had expressed his hope for. So it's not going to sell as much. The third fight isn't going to sell as much. I'll be watching. I'm intrigued. But I think most people who are looking forward to that fight, arguably, are people who are looking forward to see the next battering. And in all honesty, I can't see Deontay Wilder turning this one around. Anything is possible, but I just think that Tyson Fury has the beating of him. He has the measure of him. And if anything, I have to be honest, I think that Tyson Fury puts the whooping on him even worse next time around. So let's not get it twisted. This is stick or bust. Deontay Wilder will be going for a broke, but I think he'll get broken down quick. I don't care how light his suit is. Man could come in with wearing some kind of negligee, and it still won't help him. I think he's going to get whooped from pillar to post next time around. But I understand and I respect the fact that he wants to go in there and at least try to get his shizzle back. It's entirely understandable, but I don't see it ending well. I don't see it ending well for Deontay. And I don't see the pay-per-views ending well either next time around. There's been talk about massive amount of streaming for the fight, especially in the US of A. Massive amount of streaming. What they're talking about, 10 million streams, something of that nature. Yeah, illegal streams we're talking about. Next time, I think, if they haven't broke the record this time, I think they'll break the record next time for the illegal streaming. They're going to want people over there to pay $80 for a third fight. Get the hell out of here. And probably how much they're going to want us to pay. You know, these high prices, they already put it up £5 in the UK. These high prices, they're driving. They will drive people to stream. You know, so far it isn't so bad in the UK because the PPV prices are relatively, they're not extraordinarily outrageous. I'm a big opponent of the extra £5, however, because we get it at an extremely inconvenient time. We get the American shows at like 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, they still want us to pay money. There's nothing to say we shouldn't have to pay a penny if you're streaming at those hours. $9.99 would be probably a more reasonable price, much less going up from $19.99 to $25 or $24.99. There's nothing to say they should be damn free. So for the inconvenience of the time. So them putting it up this time, they may even be cheeky and try to put it up again the next time. And if they do that, they will have shot themselves in the foot because that will just turn the whole market to streaming, illegal streaming. So be careful, Mr. Bob Arum. Be careful. Don't try to squeeze the blood out of people. Yeah? Don't do that. If anything, if you're smart, you drop the price down to something like $50, $49 over there. Drop it down over here to around $9.99. And then you will have a sellout, my friend. Then you'll get pay-per-views galore. Okay, but the news is good or bad, whether you like it, you don't like it. The news is that Deontay Wilder has enacted the third fight, the trilogy fight. So that will be happening sometime in June or July, and all being well, Tyson Fury will be looking to move on from that to fight Anthony or Femi or Lancey Joshua, the unified champ versus the WBC champ, also holding the lineal title, which has been more legitimized with his win over the WBC champion. So it's for all the marbles. It's for the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, the IBO, the WBA. WBA? Yeah. It's all in there. So, yeah, that fight would be for all of the marbles. What say you? Is Deontay Wilder being smart, or is he being emotional? Would he have been smarter to take step aside money, take a lesser fight, get his confidence back, and then go into a fight with, well, whoever, the undisputed guy? Would he have been smarter to take that route, or is he smarter just getting straight back, facing the guy who battered him from pillar to post from the ring of the first bell? Is that smart? Anthony Joshua got beat, but he had won rounds in that fight. Had dropped the guy in that fight, and then got overzealous, overconfident, and walked into a barrage which he never recovered from. But Deontay Wilder just got beat from pillar to post from the ring of the first belt. So it's a different situation. What say you? It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comment, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Have your say. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And look out for the live shows, Boxing Talk with Rafi, Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 p.m. UK time. And if you missed the last one, the special 100th edition, which happened last night, Friday, go and check it out. It was a banger. It's the Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio, and I'm out.